What up guys, welcome to Chef Vic. I'm going to show you guys a cool little recipe how to make enchiladas. So let's get started.
Somos iguales, los hombres y los animales. Y aunque muchos no lo crean y no se diga en la calle, por dentro todas las casas están hechas de lo mismo. ¿Para qué seguir peleando? ¿Para qué tanto egoísmo? Ha llegado el tiempo.
So today we're going to make beef enchiladas. Of course, we're going to use a nice delicious red sauce. It's an ultimate delicious food. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with one whole tomato. If it's small tomatoes, use 2. If it's big like this one I got, then use this one. And we're gonna rough chop that, help thicken the sauce a little bit, and also it gives that beautiful flavor of the tomato, freshens up as well, and it's so good. And then after that, we're gonna start off with a half onion for the sauce. We're gonna do rough chops with these vegetables, just because we're gonna blend the sauce in a blender. We're gonna cut up about 5 garlic cloves, rough chop. I'd slice them, but if you want, you can leave them whole. That's fine indeed. So right here, I'm gonna clean up and prepare my station for the meat, so nice and clean. Here's a little chef tip. Always put a wet towel underneath your cutting board. Helps not to make it keep it stable. So right here is a chuck roast I use. I like chuck because it has perfect amount of marble of the fat, and it has a good delicious flavor. Again, we're gonna cut these guys up a little decent sized chunks to help cook it a little more faster, and also to is manageable in the sauce too. So we're gonna sear it. I'm using a Dutch oven pot. You use any kind of pot, but I just like using a Dutch oven, nice and cool. So I could just show you guys what pot I'm using. So in the Dutch oven, we're gonna heat up with vegetable oil, get it nice and hot because we're gonna sear off the meat for this beautiful sauce. And then we're gonna sear up nicely. Season with a little bit of salt, not pepper, because we're gonna have peppercorns later during making of the sauce. So you don't have to worry about adding pepper at this moment. This is a good amount of salt to keep it nice and well seasoned. So you really want to brown these meat up, trying to get good coloration onto this meat like you see right here. So because we're going to make the sauce in the same pot, so it has that flavor of the beautiful seared meat and stuff like that. So once after you're done searing off your meat, you're going to set that aside and add your onions and garlic, and we're going to cook those up a little bit. That would naturally deglaze the beautiful stuff that's left behind with searing the meat with the vegetables, once the vegetables release their liquid. So after that, you're going to add your chilies into the pot. That would be guajillo, California chilies, and some anchos as well. We're going to add some seasoning like Mexican oregano, Mexican saffron. I will put some of these ingredients in the description below for you guys, so it'd be more easier to find. I like to add a little touch of chili powder, just adds that little spice. Make sure you deseed and destem your dried chilies. So you're gonna toast these guys off in a pot. Make sure you keep them nice and moving around and try not to burn them. And that's when we add our tomatoes. Again, cook it a little bit more, about a couple minutes or so to soften up a little bit. And right here, that's when we add our peppercorn. It has like a nice peppery notes to it. Again, don't worry about have to crush it. If you guys don't have whole peppercorns, that's fine. You use pre-ground peppercorns instead. So right here, I'm gonna add vegetable broth. Like adding vegetable broth to my enchilada sauce. Now right here, I'm gonna add a couple of bay leaves. The reason why I add vegetable broth because I already have that beef flavor from that chuck roast, so that's gonna give that beefy flavor, and also I'm gonna cook the meat inside the sauce. So once everything gets softened, the chilies, dry chilies become soft, we're gonna blend these guys up whole. Now, quick note here: if your blender doesn't work as well, recommend to strain it, your sauce, after you blend it. But if you have a good blender like the Vitamix that pretty much could blend anything, you're perfectly fine, guys. You don't have to strain it. My blender kind of works good. This is a Ninja. I will put a link up to that if you guys like. This one is pretty awesome. It has all kinds of cool functions and stuff you can do with it. Highly recommend it. Now I'm gonna put the sauce back into the pot, and then I'm gonna add like at least 2 cups more of vegetable broth, because it naturally kind of thickens. So you want a little more looser because it's gonna simmer and cook the meat. So that will prevent somewhat not to burn. Now you must be wondering, the color is a little too bright for enchilada sauce, but once you cook the meat in it, you're gonna notice the color is gonna change and get more deeper, darker red. So this is the Oaxaca cheese, nice, delicious. It's basically Mexican mozzarella. Delicious. It melts beautiful. It is awesome. Trust me. Now, once the meat is cooked to tender, that takes at least about 2 hours. Just check it with a fork, tender, soft. And right here, we're gonna chop it up so we could put it into our enchiladas. So give it a little rough chop or fine chop, how much fine you guys like it. I get it kind of semi-medium. So here's how we're gonna fill our enchiladas. So I don't fry mine in oil. I like keeping them kind of dry like this because the sauce is nice and hot, and the tortilla will kind of absorb a little bit of the sauce. But if you guys like doing the traditional way, just heat up a little bit of oil, quick fry your tortillas to soften them up, and just dunk it. So dunk your tortillas in the sauce, put the little meat in there, and your mozzarella, roll it, and repeat till you fill up your pan, like so. Then I'll put a little extra on the sauce. Don't skip on the sauce, of course. And then I have some left over. This sauce kind of makes a good amount, so I said save some left over for a little bit later for the garnish. Top it off with that delicious Oaxaca cheese. That is so delicious. I really love that cheese. But yeah. So you're gonna bake this off at a 350 degrees oven. You're gonna bake it till the cheese is nice and melted and bubbly. And when all the things are nice and hot, and there's your enchiladas. So let's check out this little cool plating B-roll.
Tengo todas las horas del mundo, no me falta ni un segundo para darte mi sentimiento y no me arrepiento. Tengo guardadas mil ilusiones, la dama de corazones ha llegado con el viento. Oh, oh, busco la manera de encontrarte para saludarte.
Hope you guys enjoyed that cool little recipe on how to make a delicious enchiladas. I like cooking my enchiladas, like get the meat and the roast and cooking the sauce. It flavors it as well. There's a couple of things why I use vegetable broth, is that because since I'm going to cook the beef inside the sauce, and the vegetable broth will add a little more flavor, and also I'm getting that beef flavor from the meat itself. So that's kind of why I add the vegetable broth instead of beef broth. You can use beef broth if you like. It will make it more beefier, more of that kind of tense. Or you have chicken broth, of course, we add that little slight chicken broth to it, chicken flavor and stuff like that. So it's totally up to you guys. But that's why I use a vegetable broth, because I like cooking my meat inside the sauce. It flavors it, and also to makes it nice and tender and delicious. So hope you guys enjoy that. I do have some cool recipes for you guys for how to make corn tortillas. I will put that in links on the description below. So just in case you guys want to make this thing completely from scratch, go ahead. I got some cool recipes for corn tortillas for you guys. It's so delicious and quick and easy. And yeah,
So if you guys like this video, hit that like, and if you guys are new to my channel, hit the subscribe and hit the bell to guys for upcoming videos. It really supports Chef Fix channel to bring you guys more exciting content for you guys. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time.
Te muestras cool y diferente, no es normal. Parece leyeras mi mente.